Hey guys, it's Phil Cook. I post a lot on Facebook, on the Reddit page, and on the forums. And I post a lot of videos using my setup and a lot of the planes that I enjoy flying. And I always get the question, what setup do you have? You know, they want to know what processor, what video card, things of that nature. So I just wanted to talk a little bit about hardware, and I see a lot of people still buying systems and then asking questions. Is this a good system or not? Is this not a good system? So first and foremost, look at your budget. If you can afford top of the end hardware, go for top of the end hardware. You know, if you can get your hands on a 3080, 3090, a 3070 right now, go nuts. Unfortunately, a lot of us can't do that. You know, it's not until, I'd say probably until the last 5 years that I've seriously invested a lot of money into my own rig. And by seriously invested, I mean I went over that $1,000 cap. So right now I run an Intel 9700K overclocked to 5 gigahertz, water cooled by an EK water block, EK pump, and the EK reservoirs, as well as the EK radiators. On the processor alone, I think I got the processor brand new. I think for probably about like $400 when it first came out. Yeah, I think it was like $400 or $500. And then the water cooling system itself, I think I probably spent like $300-400 on. My RAM was always something I didn't really care about. I'm just running some DDR4, I think 2666 RAM. I run around 32 gigs of RAM. I just got the simple kit. It wasn't anything special. You know, there are faster RAMs, but I haven't found any of my games or any systems or any of the programs that I run really require a lot of RAM. Now, my graphic card is where I've spent the majority of my time constantly upgrading and upgrading. My processor, I've had the same processor for the past several years. I had a 6700K before that, and the only reason I got rid of my 6700K is because it died on me. You know, I had a cooling system failure and it overheated and just shit the bed. Otherwise, I would have kept my 6700. So I currently run a 2080 Ti. Now, if you're wondering, oh my god, you bought a brand new 2080 Ti, probably spent like $1,200. No, I actually just got my 2080 Ti. I bought a 2080 Ti probably like about 2 weeks ago. Yeah. So for the longest, I ran a 1080 Ti. So if you're, in my opinion, if you're on a budget gaming and you're doing 1080p, 1440p, especially if you're an Xplane person like myself, you dabble in some Microsoft Flight Simulator or P3D, whatever, I still think for your bang for your buck, the 1080 Ti is still your best bet. Why do I say that? Because right now you can get a 1080 Ti in the $300 to $400 range, and it is well worth more than the $300 to $400 that you would get for a 1080 Ti. With heavy orthos in a populated area like Los Angeles, with ORBX, with LAX HD payware scenery, running like a Zeebo mod at around 1440p, I was with that 1080 Ti and a 9700K, I was still getting on average 30 to 40 frames per second. And that's cranked up. I always run with, you know, maximum or high objects and everything else on highs, with the exception of reflections. Reflections just doesn't make any sense to me. I always keep reflections on low because, you know, I can't see the reflections, so it's just a waste of power. I game on a 1440p monitor, and when I'm not using the monitor, I use an Oculus Rift. So if you were to ask me what's the best budget graphic card that you can get, I think it's better than the 2070. I think it's better than the definitely better than the 2060. I would almost put it on par with a 2080 or a 2080 Super. But that extra RAM is really going to help you. The 1080 Ti is what I would recommend you guys buy. Now, the only reason that I got rid of my 1080 Ti was because I sold my 1080 Ti for $400, and I bought a 2080 Ti used for $600. So I only paid $200 for my freaking 2080 Ti. If it wasn't so cheap for me, I wouldn't have bought it. So if you can splurge, because if you know how to haggle, you can get your hands on a 1080 Ti in the $300 to $400 range, easy. If you willing to hunt, you can still get your hands on 2080 Ti in the neighborhood of around $500 to $600. You know, I see a lot of people asking $700, and they will be hanging on to those cards for a long time. But, you know, I saw one dude, he popped up in my local area. He had a 2080 Ti. He was asking, I think, like $650, and then he was asking $100 for an EK water block that he wanted to throw in. I went down there, I offered him $600, and I gave him $30 for the water block. Boom. He took it. So you gotta really haggle, you know. With Microsoft Flight Simulator, I run on all highs or ultras with a couple tweaks with my 2080 Ti, and I get pretty good frames. You know, I don't look for 60 frames per second. If you watch a lot of the configurations and the 11.5 configuration recommendations from Laminar Research, the guys who create Xplane, they'll tell you should be targeting 30 frames per second. And trust me, when I'm in VR, 30 frames is buttery smooth, you know, and 30 frames is a good way to go. You want to try and, honestly, I think if you stay above that 24, 25, you're golden. You know, that'll get you some relatively smooth performance. So that was my little blurb on what I'm running, what I recommend for you guys. You know, I saw somebody post that asking if they should buy this 2060, and I'm like, no, don't waste your time with a 2060, okay? You know, those things are going to be going in the garbage bin soon. You know, get your hands on a 1080 Ti if you can. If you got a little extra money to burn, get your hands on a 2080 Ti used, and you'll be good. All right. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to leave some comments down below. If you want me to make another video, you know, I'll post in this video some pictures of my setup, and like I said, if you check out some of my videos on the Xplane Facebook or on Reddit, feel free to drop me a line, tag me, whatever. You know, I love seeing your guys' videos, and I love posting videos. And I'll talk to you guys later.